video, I will be showing you how to add point events from a spreadsheet. So in a lot of cases, you might receive GIS data in a non-spatial shapefile format, but instead you'll receive them in a table format. So you might see them in an Excel sheet, as a text file, or a geodatabase table format. But as long as it has two columns that includes the X and Y coordinates, you should be fine. You should be able to convert those coordinates into actual spatial features. I already have the MXD open just to save some time. And the first thing I am going to do is I am going to add the data. So I'm going to select this Add Data button. And as you can tell, there are no folder connections. So I just have to make sure I connect to the folder where my data lives. And I'm going to select Connect to a Folder. And I'm going to navigate to my OneDrive and then my ENV376 folder. And I have pre-created a Lab 2 folder. And I'm going to select the Lab 2 folder and I'm going to hit OK. And in here, I am going to add a couple of data sets. I'm going to add the Oregon shapefile. And then I am going to add the table that says Oregon Station. So these are the two data sets I will be working with in this demo. Reminder, in order to actually view the table, you have to be under the list by source, under the table of contents. So this is the second symbol right over here, so list by source, and now you can actually see the table. Because under list by drawing, you won't be able to see the tables, you'll only see all the spatial data sets. So list by source, and I'm going to go ahead and right click on the table and open. And now I can see all the different types of information that's inside this table. Now currently it is a standalone table. It doesn't have any spatial components attached to it. And as you can see, this table includes a column for the station name. It also includes the lat and long. So this is a very important piece of information because now it will allow us to actually map the table into spatial points. So I'm going to map out the lat and the long field. So I'm going to close out of this table for a second, and I'm going to right click on the Oregon stations, and I'm going to select Display XY Data. And as you can see, I have to select the X field and also the Y field. The X field is always going to be the longitude, and the Y field is always going to be the latitude. So here I'm going to select the long for the X field, and then for the Y field I'm going to select the lat. So these are the two fields that I want to map based on the attribute table. When I opened it up, I was able to determine which fields I want to map out. And then on the very bottom is where I select my coordinate system. And based on that table, I notice that it is in decimal degrees. So I'm going to select the NAD 1983. So I'm going to select Edit, and I am going to navigate to the Geographic Coordinate Systems. And I'm going to select North America, and then USA and territories, and then I'm going to find NAD 1983, and then select OK. So I just want to make sure everything is filled out correctly, and it looks like it is, and then I'm going to select OK. So now as you can see, I actually have feature classes that I mapped out based on a standalone table that has X and Y values. And as you can see under the table of contents, it has the OR stations events. And with this events, you can tell that it is a temporary file. So I'm going to go ahead and save it and make it a permanent file. So I'm going to right click on this, select data, export data, and then now I'm going to navigate to the folder where I want to save the data set. So I'm going to save it under Lecture 2 Demo Geodatabase. And I'm going to name it Oregon Stations. Hit save, and then hit OK. And then it says, do you want to add the export data to the map? I'm going to select yes, and then I can go ahead and delete the events. Since this is a temporary file, it's not actually saved anywhere, I can go ahead and delete it since now I have a permanent one that I have just saved.